Alright, welcome to another video where I'm going to do a tutorial on how to do a DCC speaker upgrade. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is going to do this Hornby Class 56. Now this one's already had its speaker been done, but unfortunately the speaker I've upgraded to has interfered with the body screws. And now we'll put it on the ends, but unfortunately it's interfering with the lights because it was touching the contacts. Or I could have put it in the fan, but I want to keep it as realistic as I need to be, so removing that fan would just destroy all the realism. So the only thing to do is just think of upgrading another speaker. And the speaker I've got is attached under here. Is this from Rosa Rails supply that will fit. Is this 27mm round speaker, great quality, but also you keep the fans in place. So I'm just going to turn the soldering iron on. Iron on. It's on from the plug. But I must warn you, they get very, very, very hot. So, also, doing speaker upgrades to my Bachmann Class 57, which I'll show you later. Upgrading the speaker on it because the Juku speaker is a bit tiny, it's a bit tinny, so you can actually get good speakered iPhone tablet speakers in there. So I'm just going to wait for them. So the solder's ready, in case I need some more solder. Got the flux out as well. Lots of insulation tape, you need insulation. I'm going to practice some soldering on this empty can of my favourite drink in the world. My favourite drink. So yeah, we're going to turn it on. There you go. As you can see, we've got light on there, waiting for that light to go green. As soon as it goes green, that's when it's ready for soldering. Okay, so what I'm going to do is going to do some practicing first. As soon as it warms up, I'm going to do some practicing, and then I will showcase you what I need to do. Just going to practice now. A bit more solder. Have my hands in the way, but just trying to get it to connect. But maybe some not much fibres as this, but yeah. Bring my drink, it's kind of into shot. I'm just gonna... Yeah, not ideal. I just arrived, so I thought as well. Leaving twist, I'm just going to solder the two wires together, which might be a bit more ideal. I have to turn the temperature up just a little bit. If you've been soldering for a long time, you don't really need to practice. So many strands on them. Hang on. So yeah, practice wasn't the great spot. I'm going to try and desolder that. Get all the solder off at the moment. Just going to desolder these wires. Don't get too much off, by the way. The big blob needs to come off. There we go. So the old wires are coming off. So as soon as they're desoldered, I'm going to get it off and swap the speaker. Okay, so this desolder one of the wires. What I'm going to do is going to remove the solder from the other one. I must be turning the iron on and off as well, so that's probably the reason why it's taking so long. So one of the wires has been. Oh, this one give there. Oh, hang on. There's the camera. It's starting to give. There we go. There's the old speaker. Let's come away because it wouldn't fit. And now I'm going to solder on the new speaker that's going to fit. So the brown wires are neutral, so it doesn't matter which way around it goes. What I'm going to do is going to line them up, and then I'm going to solder. Then what I'm going to do is going to solder them together. It might be done off camera, but I've turned the camera over. As you can see here, the brown wires obviously are neutral. Just need to make sure everything all connects up properly. Start with the red wire. If it's a color-coded wire, this is where you need to think. If it's color-coded, you need to make sure that the two red-white matching wires are soldered together. If there's a misconnection, or if you're doing a digital sound conversion, if they're miscolored, or if you're doing a DCC sound conversion or speaker swap, and the speaker wires are these colors, and you have to make sure that you've got to solder them directly with the speaker wires are both the same colors. You need to make sure that you solder the same colour wires together. If you do it different, you've blown the decoder and you've blown all the sounds. You have to invest in another one. There we go. Oh, can't see me. Oh, soldering. Hang on, let me just. There we go. There's one wire connected. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the solder. And I'm going to do the same to the other wire, soldering the back to it. There we go. Trying to burn the flux though. Warning, this gets very, very hot. That's the second time I've said that now already. But make sure it all lines up. Hang on. Okay, so it's now all soldered together, but it was a right pain to do the black wire. What I'm going to do is we're going to plug it back in. Remember, the orange wire always goes into pin number 1. So you can see so it goes in there. Could be a bang. There we go. Going all right, actually. So what I'm going to do is going to run a quick test. So I'll just do once, let's make sure. Yeah. That indicates everything works just fine. So what I'm going to do now is going to position the decoder back in its proper position, insulate that joint, and then pop the body back on. And that's jobs are good on how to upgrade a speaker. But I must warn you, that black wire was really fiddly, I have to say. Really, really fiddly. Once the decoder speaks, I had to fit the decoder literally under the PCB. I'm going to do another test before I fit the body back on to make sure it all works and the lights work. Yep. Nope, lights don't work. Once everything's tested and it works fine with that body off, fit the body back on. This one, the Hornby Class 56, there is 4 screws. As soon as it starts to tighten up, you know the body's on. Tighten up all 4 screws. As soon as they're all tightened up, go back on layouts. I might actually see this pulling some cold trains. Because it was built for merry-go-round coal operations. This is one of the crew-built ones. The 56VO2 was built in crew in real life. As a train expert, please tell me where the real 56VO2 is. So no, I know that 56VO1 is preserved in this Fastline freight livery, albeit debranded. And I believe there's another one that's at displayed somewhere. I believe 16 have been converted into the Class 69, which Hornby should have done because they've got the perfect body for it, just needs to refine it. And there we go, 56 is done. Oh yeah, the buffer is a bit very fiddly. In fact, the buffer came off during the service, so yeah, please be careful of any loose parts falling away. I'll have to repair that. So yeah, that's done. Now I'm going to move on to the Bachmann Class 57. So here we have the Bachmann Class 57. I've got the loco here. I've also got the upgraded speaker because it's got a standard sugar cube speaker. So what we're going to do is going to remove the screws here. It actually says there was one at the front. Then you got removed another two, then ease clips. Actually, that's not true. I believe you have to remove these, and then you have to, I believe, remove 8 screws. Excuse the washer in the background. That is completely out of my control. So I'm just going to unscrew them and I'll get the body off. So with the body off, you can see a tablet speaker like that will easily fit in that enclosure. We might have to remove that tape there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to snip these wires off this ESU cord, this Shunky speaker. Maybe use it for another project like my kits. So I'm just going to cut them away. I recommend using some pliers actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this end off. And then I'm going to, and then I'm going to strip these down and then solder them to the PCB in there. Oh, these are also magnetic as well. A bit of advice. It's got a good mechanism, by the way, 5-pole motor with dual flywheels. Alright, so what I'm going to do is going to strip these speaker wires down. Sorry if the washing machine's going off. I need much, I need this much. Oh, just cutting it. So yeah. You can see, stripping the wire. So you can see that I'm just trying to strip the wires down to the bare metal. Because what I'm going to do is going to snip these off. Oh. I'm touch this there. And I'm going to just going to take the cover off as well, so it makes it a bit easier. The grey and white are not really needed for this one. It's just the 2 brown wires we need. The extra wires are for soldering on the Stay Alive. If you want to fit Stay Alive to it. It's a bit tight for Stay Alive, I have to say. Not impossible, but a bit tight, which I'm not going to demonstrate. I'm just going to demonstrate sound installation. So I stripped down the wires. What I'm going to do now is going to solder the connections up. I'm going to solder the connection, solder then insulate these connections, and if I zoom, and then I'm going to let the solder warm up before I wash the washing machine. Then get that solder, connect the joints, insulate them, then get the girder back on, and then get the body on. It's just the same what I've done with my other locomotive. So on my 57 with my 56. Now the lights aren't working still, so I might have to take this to the rows of rails to see if they can try and sort it out. Now, if you have a class 56 and you have a similar issue as a Hornby one, please do let me know. Do get in touch, see if there's any fixes available. So that's one join done. Just going to do the other one. And top up the solder. There we go. Second joint done. Sorry for washing machine going off in the background. Just turn soldering iron off. What I'm going to do is insulate the joints. Now, with some insulation tape. You can also use insulation jackets, and I recommend using those because you can wrap the pit round and then heat shrink it so it goes together. I haven't got some yet, but I will probably invest in some. So what I'm going to do is going to run the tests now with the body off. There you go. We're just going to test just to start up. Oh. There you go. So that all works. Speakers are getting hot. They're kind of overheat. So yeah, all it needs to do now is get the body back on, position it, maybe just tidy up the wires there, clip it back on, screw it back on, and that's conversion's done. Actually, the standard speaker goes where the standard factory fitted sound speaker. The tablet speakers, the double tablets, actually fit in there just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tidy these wires up, put it back on, and I can take it out and I can run again. Well, now I've got wagons on it, coal wagons at the moment, which is what the Class 56s are known for pulling. So yeah, as soon as the light's finally on, we'll get going again. So yeah. If the wires are to stay alive, do let me know. I do plan to fix this body wires as well. So yeah, just clips back on. And then screw it back on, body back. Then all I need to do is clip it back on, then these body screws will go back on, then body screws back on, and that's the sound conversion done. Oh, and fix any details that. Oh, and if you have any details like that come off, please fix it back on if you want to. Fix it. If you need to, please fix it back on. It took a bit of being persuasion, but it's finally in. So what I'm going to do is going to clip the base keeper back on here. And then, I'm going to get the body screws back on, and amend the detail parts. Obviously, if you were to service this model, you obviously would need to unclip the base keeper plate, and obviously the grease and the lubricant is still okay, and the bearings are all right as well. So I've just had this serviced. So what I'm going to do is also going to test it to make sure everything works. Yep.
Okay, sorted.
Yep, it's all sorted. It was also just going to screw them back on. Put the screws back on and then tighten them up. Yep. Oh! That wasn't supposed to happen. Yeah. If I could, I could have an action replay of it. Actually just flew off. That was not on my radar. There we go.
There you go.
Literally, it went flying. Let's go in the round. Yes, just need to find this. And there we go. Let's go put the detailing back on. Also, I took note to self. I took the fans off because I didn't want. You can see there. I also took the fans off because I didn't want the clash. I'm sure it's taking too much wiring, so I had to sell the fans off separately as Bachmann Class 57 fans for sale. So I will probably have to glue them in. So there we go. All the ends is done. The other end I will have to glue it in or tacky wax it back on. But it's on at least. So there we have it. 2 locos, upgraded speakers. Ready to go on the layout. Well, almost ready to go back on for the 56 because lighting I still think is 100% and the buffer isn't great either. But there we go. And that one, but it'll take some time and I'll get there eventually. I had to pick the hardest ones I had to do. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to start soldering, you can. So it's done. And hopefully you can learn, improve, and even do your own sound conversions. Thanks for watching.